Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela O'Hare, your favorite Las Vegas realtor.
Hey, and I'm Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor.
You're the rock star?
I'm the rock star, and all I care about are houses and you.
Awesome. I thought I'd wear my favorite Las Vegas realtor logo, and
Yeah,
we'll get into that in a minute. But
I didn't wear mine. I'm sorry. I'm shiny today.
I didn't tell you to. It's been a little while since Rob and I have seen each other, so we are going to play catch up for a minute. And have you been?
I've been good. Yeah, had a interesting year end, but it was good for me. I think little ups and downs,
Yeah.
And I had to I had a little moment with my mother. She got sick right
Ooh.
at she got sick, but everything was okay until January 1st, New Year's Day. I get the call at 5:30 in the morning, and she wants to go to the urgent care.
Is she okay?
She is okay. It turns out it's bronchitis.
Oh.
But it was a scary moment, and it was a time where I was like, you know what, I'm making the right decisions because I haven't been feeling like drinking, and it's been really just not that I drank a lot, but on New Year's Eve, a lot of people drink, right?
Yes.
Well, I didn't drink, and not that that's like all that unusual, but when I woke up to that call, I was like, oh, this is a good decision that I've made.
Yes,
and I was
there was reason for that.
I was a little groggy, but I was able to take care of mom and just kind of be stable for her in a tough moment.
Yeah.
She's 77, and you start worrying when you get that call. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And luckily, you're 5-10 minutes away from her.
Yeah, very close. And so some of this was planned. Like I wanted to be close to my mother, right?
Right.
So that was, it's I guess a yin yang moment. It tells me that I'm doing the right things, but also got to worry about mom a little bit and be there for her.
Exactly. Well, that's good.
Did you have a good Christmas and New Year?
Well, my son graduated college from UNLV. He graduated cum laude with a 3.9 GPA. Wow, so that was exciting. I got one more kid in college. She's a junior this year, so she has a year and a half to go.
Yeah.
And then I was super busy, as I was telling Rob. I had 10 closings in December, which was
what
the
a
most
blessing.
Closings I've ever had in my entire life.
What a blessing right now to have that.
A lot has happened. December was a very busy month, and then my boyfriend moved in, so that was fun. So I have a boyfriend.
I just met him.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? I mean, not that I didn't know about him. I just hadn't met him yet.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot has happened for me last month and this month going forward.
Very cool.
So that's our lives in a nutshell. There's one thing I want to point out is that I have been using this term, favorite Las Vegas realtor, for at least 3.5 years, 4 years maybe. And my boyfriend actually discovered this guy on YouTube that's using my slogan.
Yeah.
Favorite Las Vegas realtor. And he does those what are those YouTube things that try to grab people to watch the videos, but that really isn't as bad.
Oh, the
click and bait.
Bait
and click. Yeah. So
clickbait. Yeah.
If you've watched his videos, he's not your favorite Las Vegas realtor. I am. Just kidding.
That's right. Look, my head's blocking it. There it is. Favorite Las Vegas realtor.
Right. So we're going to try something new in this video. And we're going to try getting live calls. We love your comments, and we love that you watch it.
Now,
we're not going to take the calls until after we do the numbers.
Yeah.
Because we want to be able to go through the numbers in a timely manner and still answer the questions that are in the comments section. But we will take calls after the numbers are done. So I posted up there, call us live at my phone number, because I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a different twist on the market update. And if anyone wants to call in and ask us questions,
let's
try it. Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let's see if that ends up being entertaining. It might be.
Bottom line is, you guys want to know what happened with the real estate market for December, and also where we will be heading for 2023.
Yeah,
right?
What's happening?
So we got a lot to discuss. So let's pull up the numbers.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for saying hello. Keep saying hello on there.
Yeah. Bam. Oh, I don't need that up. All right. So this is going to be interesting to go over these numbers.
Yeah.
So basically, and we'll be going over December 2022 numbers.
Mhm.
And basically, Las Vegas home prices lose all of 2022 gains.
Hasta la vista.
Everything that we gained in 2022 came to a full circle from December 2021 to December 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. So I found that very interesting.
Yep. It's we had an incredible run up that was about what 60 or 65,000 in median price, right?
We had said in previous
year.
market updates that
Right.
if we just really gained what we gained in 2021, we would be fine, right?
Right.
We kind of predicted
If we slid back to
if
that.
we slid
yeah.
back to that. So obviously we did slide back to
We have
2021 numbers.
Mhm.
How far will it go?
That's
the
big
question,
isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So let's get into these numbers. So for the number of closings in the month of December, we had 1534, which is slightly up at 9% from the prior month and 51.7% down from the prior year. So
Yeah.
that's telling me that we had a slight uptick of closings in December than we did in November.
Yeah.
But you got to realize that November, December timeframe is one of the slower selling times
For sure.
for the selling season because it is the holiday season. And I think this holiday was the first holiday where people actually didn't have to worry too much about COVID.
Yeah.
They were able to spend time with their
Very much
families
so.
and enjoy the holidays. So I think that's why the numbers are where they are. It's a traditional selling holiday season.
Yeah, it's a combo plate. It's
Right.
a combo plate of things. It's the traditional,
Right.
and it's getting back to sort of some norms. I certainly feel like I've even been like, oh yeah, this feels a little bit more like life is getting more normal.
Right.
Although business has not necessarily been normal as far as the real estate. This tells you that we're trending lower than usual. But also, I think the activity, whether it's your lister
Mm-hmm.
or your buyer, they are saying put it on pause.
Right.
And they did that in a big way, I think, in certainly in December,
Yes.
and a little bit in November. I think we're, if I project out on January, I think we're going to see a very similar trend.
Yep. So with that said, the median sales price went from $430,900 in November to $425,000 in December, which is down 1.4%. However, it is flat against last year December numbers. So what I did was the December, hold on one second. Let me just put us big so you guys can see us better. January 2022, last year, the median price of previously owned single-family homes was at $435.
Yep.
December 2021, it was at $425. So we came full circle from December to December,
Mm-hmm.
and we're flat against last 2021.
Yeah, right on the nose. Isn't that crazy?
Nose. But December 2020, the median price was $345.
And I think this is where we have to have some perspective. A lot of people get into, into this really, it's always a bummer to see things go down. But, was this ever your trade, so to speak? I keep saying that because I have a friend who's a stock market person, and they're always talking about people that feel like they missed out on a trade,
Right.
Like, oh, I should have bought Apple shares back when. Well, that wasn't your trade.
Right.
Okay. So what we're looking at is a little magic time where in 2022, it just blew up for really the amount of months, a very short period. We went up 65,000 in median home price. And if you didn't decide to get in and get your property sold at that time, well, guess what? It wasn't your trade.
Right.
But what is your trade is those numbers that we just mentioned, the 2020 numbers into 2021 and where we are now. And that big explosion is still there. And so hopefully you're somebody who has that, to look at the positive on.
Right.
And if you bought in 2022, well, hopefully you also got a great rate.
Yes.
You put some good chunky money down, and you're not selling for a while because why would you, unless you had the plan to be a flipper or something,
Right.
why would you want to sell so quickly? I think that's most people's case if they bought in 2020, 2022. So,
right. The bottom line is the market isn't crashing. You'll have these agents like the one I was talking about that will have these clickbait YouTube things telling you how bad the market is and how bad Las Vegas market is crashing, but it's not.
yeah, well, I'm guilty of that too, because it does get people to watch. And
Right.
I mean, my latest video is like the market is being demolished. That's exactly what it says. But here's the full phrase: the market is being purposefully demolished by the Fed. It is being
Right.
it is a controlled demolition of value. This gets into some detail as to how that works and why they're doing it and what it means, overall in the economy. But so, yeah, sometimes we do that.
It is what it is. I guess I'm just jealous.
Well,
he's getting all these views.
Thing.
He did.
Stole your
This
thing.
guy stole favorite Las Vegas realtor. And if you guys have been following us for a long time, I've been using that phrase for years.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get a cease and desist on him or what.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I didn't trademark it, so
that's.
But
yeah.
the point is that the median sales price dropped 57,000 from the record all-time high in May of 482,000. So we have a new year. We're flat from 2021. Curious to know where 2023 is going to take us.
Mm-hmm.
We have our insights, and we'll get into that as we, go further into our numbers.
Yeah, I want to hear what you have to think about that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
We have not prepped or thought about that together, so it'll be interesting.
Exactly.
To see where we are.
Exactly. So let's get to the medium sales price in the condos and townhomes. So the medium sales price in condos and townhomes went from $260,000 in November to $246,950 in December, which is down 5% from the prior month, but still slightly up 2% from the prior year.
Yeah.
So they had still a slight increase from December to December.
Yeah.
And so their median price in January 2022 was at $243,000. Their median price in December 2021 was $242,000, and the median price in 2020 was $186,000.
Yeah.
So the condos, townhomes are still as more desirable because of affordability.
But that's what it is, 100%. People that were looking at buying single family residence got pushed into condo townhomes. They got pushed into that a while ago, but now even more so when your interest rate's a little higher.
Right.
So that's a big part of that. There was a lot of people that still wanted to get moved and settled in.
So then now we're going to go over the number of new listings for the month of December was 1,677, which is down 20% from the prior month and down 23.6% from the prior year. So that is a good sign to me because that's telling me, one, the sellers are getting the message.
Oh, they're definitely
getting the message because what we had thought is not happening. People aren't putting tons of houses on the market and trying to get rid of it. There's not an influx of inventory as we thought it was going to happen.
Well, I just thought naturally, look, people always have to move, and we are seeing that people are putting their houses on the market. It's not as if it's non-existent, but yeah, we just thought it would be a little bit more than what we're seeing. I think there is something to be said for that as far as we go into the next, few months.
But the interesting thing real quick is that in December 2021, the number of listings was 2,196 compared to 1,677. Yeah. So that's pretty.
Yeah. It was quite a bit more.
Pretty interesting in my
thoughts.
The
sellers were getting the opposite message at the time.
Yes.
It's time to sell. Right. So, and we were definitely ones saying that. Now, my thing is right now is the same message in a way. If you're in a position that you need to sell or want to sell, have, whatever your motivation is, you should be selling as soon as possible. I believe that's, and even on the buyer side, it's something to really take a hard look at and try to see if you can catch the dip on these interest rates before they do potentially take another rise into February, March.
Right.
I think these rates are headed for, what I'm seeing, is that they're going to have a little lull and may even get below 6% in this month. And so if you're a buyer and you have to get in there and buy, you might want to just go ahead and push that envelope. You might be able to get sellers to do a lot of good things for you and get a lower rate. And now you've made a good buy, regardless of what happens for the rest of the year or even next year.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about that. So.
And then real quick, the availability of homes is now currently at 6211, which is down 15.4% from the prior month, but still up 175.9% from the prior year.
Yeah.
But the thing is that last month it was like, or in the last market update, it was in the 8,000 range. So
yeah, I'm very surprised at that. But that really does go to show you that it isn't, the people are in hibernation.
Right.
I mean, as far as people putting their properties on the market, what I am concerned about, I'll tell you my immediate concern when I see that, is that we may get a lot of these people who are thinking springtime, New Year time, we're going to start putting our properties on the market. And what I'm not seeing is an influx of buyers that are going to be there as well. Maybe a few more, but not like this whole bunch of buyers to gobble up that inventory. So I do believe it's going to stack up. This is another reason why I think if you're a buyer, you're in a great place. And you're looking at, even with these numbers, 1 in 5 listings are going into escrow. Only 1 in 5.
Yeah.
Last year at this time, it was 2 in 3.
Yeah.
So, 2/3 of every house being listed was going into escrow very quickly. And now we're 1 in 5. It is a telling story. And so this is also why my message is to sellers that, again, capture what you can by being a smart seller right now. And you got to talk to us. I don't know if we want to get too in detail about that. But
well, the most important message is, we'll get into that once we go over how long the house has been on the market.
Sure, absolutely.
That's a great segue right there.
Another spot we need to pay attention to.
Okay.
These numbers do tell a story.
Do.
It's not on face. It looks a little brighter than I think it is. I don't want to say it's all awful, but it's like we just have to be,
well, these numbers are more realistic,
There you go.
And
be real.
It's very realistic. And I think once we get into the days on the market, then that's when we should give seller advice.
Sounds good to me.
Michael, are we still lagging? Are we like, wow?
Oh, no. Are you talking about the lagging indicators? Yes, Michael. This is exactly what I think we're going to get to.
Are we lagging in the internet connection?
I hope not. I think he's talking about, so there is this, the lag is talked about as far as what's economically being done, or what's being done economically with the interest rates, why they're doing this, and whether or not the Fed is sort of, not really recognizing that there's some lagging indicators and they better be careful of overdoing it. That's a little bit, I don't know if that's what he's talking about, or if he's just talking about us seeing our numbers from this last month, and that there's lag in those numbers that is going to show up. And that's what I'm alluding to in the coming months.
Okay.
Sorry.
Interesting. Might as well just answer one question. Do you guys work with investors? I'm having a hard time finding cash deals for fix and flip.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want, if you want to find the sellers that are willing to sell to you like you're a pawn shop, I mean, that's probably not really our clientele. But every now and then we do get somebody that might need to make something happen.
Right.
But generally speaking, we want to put it on the market for them and get them the top dollar. So, not really.
I don't really work with investors.
Yeah,
personally.
It's not really our forte to necessarily. I certainly, if I have something, I put it out to my investors, but it's a little bit more rare. Yeah, a lot more rare, really.
Exactly. We kind of skipped over luxury market.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh no, it's my fault. I was kind of like jumping the gun.
Okay.
So there were 60 homes that sold in December that were over $1 million, compared to November 63, which is only a 3-home decrease. But here's the interesting number. The median sales price in the luxury market for December increased to $1.5125 million. And in December, that number was 1.35.
Yeah.
So they had 162.5 increase in median price, which, even though they had 3 homes less, though they must have been selling higher homes that got more above the asking price.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also the luxury market can have such big swings in what might close.
Right.
And that can really adjust that number. So I don't know that we can make much of that. I mean, for example, I sold a nice luxury listing, but it was in escrow in August and we closed in December.
Wow.
Right. So sometimes you have these longer escrow periods for a larger price property. There could be a number of explanations. There could have been a couple big giant sales in there.
Yeah.
Couple $8 million, $5 million sales that skew that.
Yeah. Stay tuned. On a side note, I will be doing, and I do this every year, the top 3 and the top 3 lowest and the top 3 highest priced homes that sold in Summerlin. I have the script worked out, but I just need to record it and get it out there for you guys, because I like to see that in Summerlin, to see how high at what the extreme is and what the bottom is.
Yeah, you should absolutely, and do an analysis of what they listed for, what they sold for.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
Good idea.
The going trend was that they got below asking price.
Shocker. But that's actually a very traditional luxury market. Most luxury sellers.
No, I mean, even in the low end, on the 3 lowest houses that sold in Summerlin got below asking price.
It's still, sellers will list higher than
right.
they think they're going to get, and
right.
then they feel like they're going to no-go. And in this market, clearly that's happening.
Yeah.
Right. But even in a more traditional Las Vegas market, with the exception of maybe the last couple of years, it was that way. You were looking at longer time on market, and that you were probably going to have to negotiate with those buyers a little bit more.
Right. All right. So we're going to wrap up the numbers really fast, and I still want to talk about interest rates and new construction, but let's get to the numbers real quick. So get this, the months of supply, it dropped down to 4 months of inventory. I think last month it was at 4.8. So that was a 16.1% decrease, but a 471.6% increase from December of last year.
Yeah. Well, we had to have
2,000.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's at 6,000 now. So we probably had about that much. But here's what we need to focus on. The days on the market.
Absolutely.
40.8% or 40.8% of the homes was on the market 30 days or less for the month of December. 47% of that was in November, but December of 2021, it was 75.1%. So the sellers, 1, are getting the message, but 2, homes are staying on the market a lot longer. So for my advice, and you probably could chime in, as a seller, if you want to sell and you need to sell, gone are the days where within a week you get an offer, you get multiple offers. Expect your home to be on the market longer than 30 days.
Yeah. I mean, there are ways that you can navigate that and make that, probably shorten your time frames. But you're going to have to, what you're going to do is think to yourself, I'm capturing the equity that I can capture.
Right.
And if my feeling is that every day that goes by that you have a listing on the market, you have lost another dollar. And that dollar, it may not just be, it's not going to be $1. It's less money every day. And now look, this sounds like I'm talking about a big crash or something. No, it's just the reality of this correction. And I do think it's a correction. I think it's a very strong correction. I think, I guess you could technically say, after you wipe out all the last year's numbers, that it crashed. Yeah. But again, the controlled demolition of the Fed is what's driving this. So
yeah, I don't see it as a downside. I see it as a good thing that we're back to where we started.
I think we're getting to healthy, but it's going to take some ugliness to get to healthy. Right. So if you're a seller, you have to recognize that, and that's what we're saying. And I think if you want to cut down on the time on market, which means a longer time on market means less money in the end, then I would definitely make your property sweet for the picking. Right.
So this is where you don't hire an agent that uses their iPhone or their phone to take pictures of your home. You hire, they still are doing that.
Oh my God.
You hire an agent that takes professional photos. Your house has to be, and we've done videos on this like a couple years ago, remember? Spick and span. declutter, depersonalize. It has to shine like a diamond.
It's competition city.
Yes.
You're competing for fewer buyers out there.
Yeah.
You're competing for far fewer buyers. So you need to be the one that attracts that buyer. And you do it by looking wonderful, by having a listing and having an agent that's not giving you some sort of,
blowing smoke
rate.
up your
Do not be careful. I can't tell you how many people have come to me and they lost money because their agent wasn't straight with them and didn't see what was happening,
right,
and wasn't able to adjust to what is happening. And them as just the seller, they saw it, but they didn't. It's hard to, like, you're not really hearing the feedback from your agent.
Right.
Even as it's tough for us sometimes, but we have to raise the red flags sometimes and go, hey, we got an issue. We need to take a look at this seriously. That will save you so much more. If some of these people that came to me had an agent that did that for them, they would have saved tens of thousands of dollars. And now they're relisting for that loss.
Right.
The
number one rule is the first offer is always going to be your best offer.
Almost always.
But number two is, if you have an agent say, oh, yes, we can sell your house at this, we can do this, blowing smoke up your rear end, then don't trust them. Because I've always been price it according at or below market value. You don't want to price it at, say, 400 and it's really worth 375. All right. Price it accordingly.
It'll kill you. Right now, it'll kill you.
Because the longer your home's on the market, the more negotiating power that buyer has. They're going to be asking for the barn. They're going to be asking for closing costs, buy down, etc.
And you may end up at the numbers that we talk about anyway.
Right.
Or you're probably going to be,
or the first offer that you got will be that number.
Yeah, or you're going to end up probably below the numbers, because by the time you actually sell, it ends up being that you have
to give the barn away.
Yeah. So you have to be smart. You have to be smart, and being smart means taking what is there and recognizing what's happening next. Right. And that's what we would help you do. That's what I feel like I've relabeled myself Coach How in this market, because I got to coach people through this stuff and really try to help them see the light on this.
Well, buyers want a deal. Okay. And number one, if they're not getting a deal from you, they're going to go to the new construction over there and buy new construction and get a great deal.
And what did they do? Those builders have absolutely made it hard to ignore them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the 10 closings I had in December, 8 of them were new construction.
And most of those people, I would think that they all feel like they got a nice deal.
Exactly.
That's what buyers are doing. You just nailed it.
They want a deal. They're savvy. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
They want a deal. You got to put yourself in the buyer's shoes.
Right.
I have sat down with people and actually done the mortgage calculator. This is what I don't like doing this, because I don't like to argue for the opposite side. But in this time right now, where we have a changing market that is very the opposite of what we were dealing with, certainly in beginning of 22, a year ago.
Right.
You want realistic. I just think you should be dealing with somebody who's going to give you the truth. And so I'll sit down and show you what it is that buyer's going to have to pay if at certain numbers.
Right.
And you tell me, when you look at those numbers, how you would feel. And usually they're like, I wouldn't want to. No, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
So buyers, they're not just looking for a deal. They're looking for something they can afford.
Right.
This is what you have to understand.
Well, that's the key factor, is affordability is an issue, because with higher interest rates, their purchasing power has diminished.
But they're there.
Right.
The buyers are there. You be a smart. Some of you are buyers right now listening. I'm sure of it.
Right.
And this is also part of the coaching that we would give. Sorry, I've been into this coaching thing. It's in my genes.
Rob does a lot of listings, and I do a lot on the buying side. So that's why we are a perfect pair, because I'm able to advise you on the buying side what the buyers are looking for, and he's able to advise you on the listing side.
Yeah.
And I do listings, but he does a lot.
But
more.
I have to understand that buyer side, and that's why I had some preloaded questions about what I was. Hey, I want to know what you're seeing. What's happening on the buyer end, and that.
But in my opinion, and I think before we get into anything, we are at a point where if you want to give us a call, feel free at 702-370-5112. Let's try this. Be the first person, the guinea pig, to see how this is going to work out.
Yeah.
If you have a question for us, we love interaction and we love you guys interacting with us. So I think it would be kind of fun. If not, that's okay.
Very first person. Who's going to do it?
Who's going to be calling number 9? No.
I feel like this is going to be the break the ice moment, like where people are going to be a little shy about doing it. Yeah. But then once they see people do it, it's going to be like really easy for people to do it.
Yeah. So, I just want to say, you're on the air, caller. How can we help you?
Yeah. Even if you just want to say hello, let's make sure this phone works.
Right? Nope, no one's calling us. Darn it.
We understand. You're sitting there, you're doing your work, you're whatever you're doing. Right. It's probably not the easiest.
I kind of wanted to take it to a next level for our market update.
Well, we'll keep trying
and see how it goes, because I think it would be fun, kind of like do it radio, but you get to see us live, aspect. So anyway, before we get into interest rates and new construction, I think we should get into predictions.
Okay. You want to check out what we did before? And
well, I don't want to get into what we predicted.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we could do that, but then I want to get into 2023 predictions.
Oh, overall 2023.
Over 2023.
Okay.
So we'll get into the votes and who won last month's.
Yeah, we can do that, because then that will tie into
exact predictions.
Okay.
All right. So
I think I was pretty off on a lot of stuff.
We both were off because we played the prices right.
Yeah, we did.
All right. So for median price, Rob said that there would be a $9,000 increase, $9,000 increase. Decrease. Sorry. I said a $10,000 decrease because I was playing the price of right and went 1,000 above him. Yeah. In actuality, it was 5,900 decrease. So that was actually.
I was closer.
You were closer.
Not by much.
But he won that. So that's pretty good, though, that we didn't have as much of a decrease as we thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, they're holding the line.
Yeah. Sellers are holding the line. People aren't listing as much as they were. There's not an influx of houses coming on the market.
The activity was pretty slow, too.
Yeah. But we could also attribute that to the holiday season. And, we have a new year.
Mm-hmm.
So then it came to without offers. Rob said 7,800. I said 7,500, and it was 6,211. So since I was the closest, I got that one. And then months of supply, Rob said 5.1. I said 5 months, and it was 4 months.
Unbelievable.
So I won since I was the closest.
Yeah.
It did not go up as we had thought.
Yeah. That's hey, I think it's a mixed bag when you look at that. I think when I look at the overall big picture of why this is happening, which is the Fed increasing these rates, when they see this, they feel like they're still doing the right thing. So if they were to see the tipping of these numbers to go over this, higher and all that, then they feel like, uh-oh. So I think right now they're telling themselves, we're good. We haven't pushed this over the edge yet. My concern is if we get a whole bunch more as we enter January and February and March, and not able to offload that inventory. So we'll see.
All right. So do you want to predict?
Well, okay. So would you want to do overall January?
Let's do January 1st, and then we'll do the 2023.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So January predictions.
Median price. I'll go first since you went. I think you went first last time. I'm going to say that there's only going to be, just by how the December numbers were, I'm going to say kind of keep in line with that, say 6,000 decrease.
I'm going to go, I'll just prices right you on this and say 7,000 decrease.
Okay. 6,000.
Yeah.
7,000.
Yeah.
All right. So then what about without offers? You get to go first.
Okay. Without offers, I think we have to increase. So I'm going to say 7,000.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to go that high?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have to make sure mine stays in line with, shit, you said 7,000. So I'm going to go 6,500.
All right. Drop right in between us, probably.
Yeah. All right, so then now months of supply, it is currently at 4 months. I'm going to say 4.6 So if we went up 6,500, that's not much. We're at 4. So I'm going to say 4.2.
Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and, for there to be a little bit of a meat, some meat in between that we could play with, I'll go 4.7.
Okay. All right,
I
folks,
think
that's
that
it.
actually mathematically doesn't work out.
It doesn't.
Either way.
Do you want to change your answers?
No, it's all right. We'll have some meat in between there.
All right.
We'll see if one of us gets slightly closer than the
Caller,
other.
you're on the air. Who are we speaking to? Just kidding.
Darn it.
All right, darn. All right. So, wow, it is raining out.
Yeah.
My prediction is typically right now, and I don't know if I can predict 2023 as a whole. I can predict what's coming in the next 3 months. Okay.
That's a smarter prediction.
Yes, because if the Feds kind of decrease the rates and they don't do another rate hike for a little while, I'm still getting a lot of buyers calling, wanting to relocate to Vegas. I think that the spring season is still going to be a robust season. I think we're going to have minimal increases, but we're not going to have decreases. We may have like 2 or 3% increases. It's not going to be like past, but I think we are going to have some increases for the spring selling season.
Well, this is
and real quick, if you're a seller, now's the time to list because less competition and the interest rates are a little lower.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be very much the opposite. I don't want to be completely negative Nancy here and really down on everything, but here's what I'm seeing. The Fed is promising another rate increase in February and in March. Now they could. I have trust issues with what the Fed's doing,
right?
Because they didn't see this coming. The biggest thing they needed to do was see this coming all the way back in late 2021.
Right.
They missed that. They ignored or pretended that we didn't have this, inflation problem. But so then they've really aggressively to unprecedented levels. As quickly as these rates have moved up,
right.
It's never happened like that before.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So they've really just shot their load on this thing. And so I right now, I do think that they are planning to still do that. Now they could reverse that and that would help things, at least from the sales numbers point of view. But I do think that it's going to get harder to sell a home for a higher price.
Right. I think what we just need is stability. We just need to be stable.
Yes. Well, that's what they're going for.
Market.
Ultimately, that's what they're going for.
But we don't need to go all the way to 2020 numbers.
No, we
need to stay at 2021 numbers.
Yeah, that would be absolutely. And I think there's a big buffer in there between 2020 was what, what was it? 345 or something?
Let me look.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
And then obviously we ended 2021 at 425. So
yeah, 345 in 2020 December.
So that's quite I think I even talked about it. If we were to be still above slightly 400 or just under 400, it wouldn't be.
And then stabilize. That's how my prediction is.
Yes. But that stabilization, and I believe, is going to take the entire year. Okay. That's what I'm getting at. I think we could be losing some more median price along the way. Probably.
Yeah, but we've been doing like 5,000 drop since July.
Yeah. So
we dropped 57,000 since May. So I would hate to see to continue to see more decreases. I just want it to.
I think we're going to, and that's my prediction. I think we're going to see more if I look at the overall year, I think we will be lucky to have just about 5% lost on our equity, on our values, maybe more like 8% overall. Hopefully it doesn't eclipse that number, because all of that would be territory that I could be very, very positive about in the long run. But what I'm concerned about is that they're going to raise these rates just slightly more. They're not going to be these 3 ticks. They're going to be more like a half basis point and then maybe a quarter basis point in March. But that's going to raise things and make it cost more. And then they're going to hold. So if they do what they say they're going to do and they hold those rates high and they don't come down like we would like to see them at some point, that means that it just is a little tougher year. Now the prices are going to get better for buyers. That's great, but
you got a higher interest rate.
But
So it's
now
half
you
a
have
six
your
a
higher,
dozen or the
yeah.
other.
And I also don't think we're going to see
unless you're a cash buyer.
Yes, so cash. Oh, but this is where, speaking of investors or cash buyers, man, you are running the table, and it's just a matter of when you want to get in and make it happen.
Right.
Okay. So that's just, decide whether it's going to be, you see it really looking good right now, or if you see it looking good later in the year for you. I don't know if you can go wrong. If you're a cash buyer, you can make a move and you can get in there and make it happen. So, I'm saying all this because I want to be realistic with mostly the sellers,
right,
and even the buyers, because again, going back to what I said earlier about if there's a dip in these interest rates before they raise them,
right,
you could be getting in at about the best time you could get in this year and still be getting a lot from the seller.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So this is actually,
that's why I was saying now's the time to buy.
You're in a great window. Now's the time to buy and to sell.
Yep.
It really is, because my thing is that I don't think it gets a lot better throughout the rest of the year. That can change, and I usually don't like to give a lot. I'm usually with you where it's like 60, 90 days.
Right.
But in this case, I see a projection in my mind based on the information that I'm being given that is going to be a year long, maybe into 2024, hopefully not into 2024.
I just think that come the springtime, it's going to become a traditional selling market, not as crazy as years past where you get multiple offers. But I think that the sellers will have some skin in the game, not as much, but they will have something.
Well, yeah, this is a bit of an unpeeling onion. And what I want to see is that the onion doesn't unpeel more than just maybe that outer layer or two,
Right.
Because if things were to go down certain alleyways, and this is where the lagging indicators, the things that people talk about, the Fed overshooting this,
right,
and gets into some detail. And I'm sorry to be maybe boring people out of their minds, but it's important to know that there are a couple of ways that this can go. Right now, we're just going to have to really keep tight on things, really keep a tight eye on what's happening next.
But I tell you what, people were spending this holiday season. I went to stores like the other day, and everything is wiped out. People spent some money this holiday season.
I agree. I think people were generous. Like you said, they want to get back to that giving nature, and when you're not spending money on buying houses, you
got more money to spend on everyone else, right?
Yeah. So and let's be honest, a lot of people did really well in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
These are the things, sadly, and it's really sounds awful, but these are some of the things the Fed doesn't want to continue. They want, for example, the markets rallied on Friday. It's the stock market.
Right.
Okay. They rallied on Friday because of news came in that payrolls were down just a smidge.
Oh.
Because that's what the Fed wants to see.
Right.
Yeah. That sucks, though. That sucks for people. What do you mean you want us to make less money?
Yeah.
And the day before, the numbers were in for the job market, and they were good, so the market was down. So they want bad job numbers, and they want bad payroll numbers. They want people
to be unemployed, homeless.
Yeah, I hate to be negative about all this, but it's just the reality of what they're looking for. And the reason why we want to know that is because it's going to tell us what's next and how things are going to get dealt with as we go forward.
Right.
So anyway, I get too much into the minutia.
Well,
sometimes
you're passionate about it. There's nothing wrong with that. So speaking of interest rates, as I have right here, that the 30-year home loan was at 6.48% as of Thursday, which is last week.
Yeah.
Up from 3.22% a year earlier.
Yeah.
So
double.
So, but still, it's under the 7%, and it's been hovering around that.
Yeah, and I think we're going to take a dip. I have some people I trust that other YouTubers and some other people that email me some information that are saying we're probably going to see a dip that could go under 6%. Again, buyers, if you're really looking for that shot, that moment.
Plus, if you can get them to do some buy down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. you could be getting under 6 or even around right on 6, and then maybe getting up to a 2-point buy down.
We just have to come to the realization that this is the new normal. I mean, we were so used to the 3% since 2008, probably.
Yeah.
For years, those interest rates maybe hovered at 4, the highest, but I don't ever remember it going above that. So we just have to get back to reality that, gone are the days where they had these incredibly low interest rates. Right.
Yeah. And the good news is that the prices of homes are going to start to match why that is still going to make sense for you. I don't believe we're going to go below 4% again for a long, long time. Right. So get used to around 5% when we do settle down.
Yeah.
If we're lucky to be in those territories, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah.
So great point.
So amid the slowdown, now we're getting into new construction. Builders have offered more incentives to buyers and higher commissions to agents to bring them in. And that's what the thing is. Gone are the days where these builders offer us nothing or 1% commission. Lennar's up to they're doing a 2, 3, 4. So your first deal 2%, second deal 3%, third deal 4%. But last month's builder's average base asking price in Southern Nevada was $581,531, which is down 4% or almost $27,000 from May of 2022, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Then leading the pack was Taylor Morrison, whose average base price was $527,382 in the month of December, which was down 21% or more than $136,000 from May of 2022. Yeah. But Taylor Morrison was the one offering incredible, and still is, which we're going to get into, incentives for buyers.
I would guarantee
they were slashing prices.
They have to be the highest volumes of sales.
Yeah. They were slashing prices left and right last year. So is now still a good time to buy new construction? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these builders did get rid of a lot of their standing inventory. So now what's going on is you're going to be building from ground up. It's going to take 7 to 10 months, if not longer, depending on the builder. Some of them do have quick move-ins available where you may be able to get some incentives. But if you wanted to buy new construction, you should have bought last year, because the builders were giving the barn away, in my opinion.
I think they're going to start to stiffen up. They get to a point where they really can't drop too much more. Because then what happens is it's going to affect the previous people who bought, because now, these people, they're hurting their own community. So
right. Yeah. They're hurting their own communities. I had a client that bought, in Orchard Canyon last month. It's the Annabelle model by Richmond American in North Las Vegas. He bought it at base price for $434,000, and he got at least $60,000 plus in upgrades.
Wow!
So now the same people that have bought the Annabelle have more money. He has a better chance of not losing so much equity like other people have. But someone who bought it and built it from ground up and put their own upgrades are kind of like, what's the word I'm looking at? They're negative.
They're underwater.
They're underwater.
Yeah. Which, I think in time you'll be fine, but I hope you're sticking around for a little while. That's been my message,
ultimately the goal is you stay in your house at least 5 years.
Yeah, and that's certainly what we're advising buyers to do. Even if you're buying right now, you got to be in the home for at least 3 to 5 years to expect, that you're going to be in a plus area.
What's going on, guys? Where's the questions? Huh?
We got all these viewers. They didn't like us telling us to call them.
Well, if you don't call us, ask us questions.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. So now there are some builders that are still offering some incentives. Toll Brothers is still having their new home sales event. They are offering a limited time incentives now through January 15th on select homes and communities. And they're also offering up to 3% credit at closing on in-home progress and 50% off up to $100,000 on options for those that are going to be selected. So I don't know what that's the incentives. What? Still here and definitely not calling. Why not?
Nobody calls anybody anymore.
Pulte, on the Pulte's website for quick move-in homes, it states that there's special financing, but it doesn't state what that special financing is. So I don't know what's going on with Pulte. They still have a handful of quick move-in homes. Same does Richmond American. And their incentive is for homes that close on March 31st. You enjoy special interest rate at 4.85% or 8.75 if you are FHA or VA.
30-year.
30-year or 5.5% on a 30-year conventional. Obviously, you have to use their new in-house lenders in order to qualify for these incentives, right?
Yeah.
Then TriPoint is actually having an event. It says TriPoint is having a new home event, special pricing and financing on select move-in ready homes. During the New Year home event, take advantage of limited time below market 2-to-1 buy down for the first year interest rate at 3.875. So basically, the first year it's 3.875, the second year 4.875, and years 3 through 30 at 5.875,
makes a lot of
which
sense.
is still below the 6 point whatever.
6.48. Yep.
Yeah.
That we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. I've seen TriPoint really give some. They are competitive.
I don't know. This is a current client, so I don't know if I should answer this or is she meaning to call because she's watching.
Maybe you should say, if you're a current client, text me to make sure so I know we're not just talking about details.
Are you calling for YouTube?
So I'm going to answer this question. Thank you for the question rollover, Mitchell. Are Californians still buying in Vegas? The answer is they would like to be. And so the answer is yes. Ultimately, there are Californians. California will always continue to feed us. And I just basically say, as long as California is crazy, people are coming to Las Vegas from California. But one of the problems that you're having there is that they can't get their homes sold in some cases. So the train has been being held up at the station. And so, when they can sell their homes, and hopefully they can sell their homes for a nice, exchange when they come here and buy this home.
Right.
So yes, they are still coming, just not in the droves that we saw before.
Yes.
And obviously the interest rate has really hurt their ability to do that.
Calling for YouTube. All righty.
Hey. Cool.
All right. Call back.
All right. We did get a caller. Cool.
Yes, it was my client Lauren, and I didn't know if she was calling to speak to me or.
Yeah, you don't want to have personal information.
Exactly.
She could be telling you something right off the bat. That's
right.
Like, oh, wait. We did.
Hi, Lauren. How's it going? Lauren, can you hear me?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to be our first caller live on YouTube.
Yay, Lauren.
Since you're talking about new construction,
yes,
I wanted to see if you had any information on the Toll Brothers Pulte project on Town Center and Tropicana.
That's a good question. I've seen them grade it. But these builders are quite secretive until they get further along.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been there in a month or so. I know that you're closer down there. Have you seen it besides the grading?
Yeah, I've seen all the grading. Yeah.
Yeah, I see them grading it. But other than that, that project may take or be delayed due to the current market and what's going on, because I know builders had stopped doing building permits, right?
I'm going to guess it's going to take a little while for those to come around. I mean, it's a guess.
Yeah.
So
because the Kestrel Village over in Summerlin West is slowing down as well. The newest village over there, it didn't take off as much as the Red Point Village did. So I would imagine that they're going to grade it and may take a little longer than we want on that area.
Great little area.
Okay.
Great little spot.
Yeah, it's about time they finally built over there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Lauren.
We watch you guys all the time. Thank you.
Thanks,
Lauren.
You
Enjoy
guys,
your show.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for the question.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's always tough to know when you see these pieces of land that the builders are they maybe they own it and you see them working on it.
Right.
And if obviously in the last couple of years we knew they're getting lickety split on it.
Right.
But
Right.
now for without a doubt, you're seeing them back off on these.
Yeah, because like the Kestrel Village that I was talking about, there was a couple communities that have been advertised in Summerlin, but hasn't taken shape yet. So I'm thinking that,
they hurt themselves by putting more
Yeah.
inventory out there.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do it. They've been offloading inventory, not unloading it.
right. So I think that project, which is going to be a great project, like she said, it's going to be Pulte Homes and Toll Brothers. We don't have much more detail about it. I know some of the communities will be gated and so forth, but that's all we know personally, unfortunately. But Mr. Adam DeAngel, do you guys think building in Sky Canyon is going to slow down with the market slowing? Well, the thing with Sky Canyon is that the homes are much more affordable than a good chunk of the valley. So I don't think new construction in Sky Canyon will slow. I mean, it may.
They're going to keep building.
They're going to keep.
They're going to, but
building.
at a
much slower
at
pace.
a medium pace if we're lucky, right? So,
right. I mean, because all you have really in Sky Canyon right now is you have the Toll Brothers communities and you have Century communities.
So whatever they've already done out,
Right.
they've got the model homes for, they're going to build on demand.
Right.
That's the way they'll build.
They need a variety of builders to go back out there because Century runs the whole lot over there. They're pretty much Century, and then Toll Brothers has a few.
Yeah. So
what
we got
should
a
be
new
a
question.
premium dollar for a single story or bigger lot house, but usually they are in older neighborhoods?
What should be a premium dollar for a single story or bigger lot houses that usually are in older neighborhoods? I'm not sure. It's, I see what you're saying. So large lot properties, like ones that might have RV parking, maybe single story, like they're saying, that are going to be these like an half acre, about what you see out here, right? You're not going to see a whole lot more than a half acre. What would be a premium dollar for that? I mean,
I'd have to look at the system.
That's
typically single story on a bigger lot is going to be probably a custom home.
Absolutely. Well, they do have some builders building on them.
Yes,
but the custom homes could go any number.
Yeah,
a lot of different.
We'd have to do some investigation on that. We don't know.
Most of this is going to be in the Northwest that we know of. Some in the South, but not very much.
Right.
And so, just speaking of there, I mean, probably if you're lucky, 750.
Yeah.
But if you're lucky, I think anything really nice is going to be in the 8 to 9 and maybe up to 1.2 area.
Right.
So,
yeah,
it's a little bit of a swinging pendulum there.
All right. We just got one more builder left, which is KB Homes, is providing a special low rate to help make your dream of owning a home reality. This limited time opportunity is if you use their finance department and lock in a rate at 4.99. But here's the kicker. For up to 270 days. Why would you want to finance at 4.99% for 270 days?
Teacher, can I answer that question?
Yeah.
Well, if you feel like the rates aren't going to be better as that time goes on, you're locking in.
Yeah.
And that's what I would probably do right now.
Well, you're going to lock it in, or you're going to do 4.99 for 270 days. And then 270 days, where's the interest rate going to be? You're going to have to kind of get it wherever it's at.
Well, no, you're locking in your rate.
Oh, but not at 4.99.
Loans and lock a rate. That's what they're saying.
Oh, loans and lock in a rate at for only 270 days.
For up to 270 days. So what they're saying is that they can build the property ideally within the 270 days. Your rate stays the same
at 4.99,
and you don't have to worry about whatever the rate,
right?
Whatever the market.
But then
does.
Once the home's done at 270 days, you have to worry what the rate is going to be.
No, you're locked in.
Oh. Oh, okay. It's so confusing. Sorry.
Yes, they're doing a rate lock for 270 days.
Actually, that's pretty good.
That is good. That's really good, and I would definitely hop on that.
Yeah.
Again, this is sellers. This is the picture that you need to see. What is that builder doing?
Right.
They're saying we want to sell now at this price, and we'll do this incentive to do so, which is definitely costing them something, okay? Because they don't want to wait till later and find out what their prices might be then, and sell it to you then. So the incentive for you is that rate, even if the prices go down a little bit more, is better than paying the higher rate and a little bit lower price.
Exactly.
Okay, so
It's a balancing act.
that's a smart move on their part.
Yeah. And if you want to get, I have KB Homes, all of KB Homes quick move-ins. I have all of Pulte and American West quick move-ins list. And then I have all of Richmond American quick move-in list. So if you're thinking about buying new construction still, just reach out to me, give me a call or email me, because I still sell a lot of new construction and it would be cool to try to sell more, right?
Yeah.
Because we're new home sale experts.
Well, they're clearly they're making pitches that are hard to ignore if you're a buyer interested in that. So
Right.
you should check it out.
Right. But, you know, if anyone has any more questions, now either the time to call or to put it in there, because we are going to wrap it up and be
It's time
an
for
actual
lunch.
hour.
I got to pay for lunch. Damn it.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it, folks. Comments, questions, or concerns, let us know. I have posted a link to the Las Vegas Realtors report that goes over in better detail about resale homes, single family and townhomes and condos as well, right?
Yep.
Any final thoughts for you?
Well, this is my thought for you. I don't think you should worry if somebody tries to steal your favorite Las Vegas realtor. First of all, there's a big reason why you should never worry about it, Ange, because she's Angela O'Hare and she's everywhere. I've been telling her to use that for a long time. All right. So Angela O'Hare, she's everywhere. You'll just look up her name. You'll find her everywhere. And just like her, you find Rob Howe, H-A-U. You'll find me everywhere. Yep. Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor. Find me on YouTube.
And I've also posted his information down the bottom in the description.
If you want you hear me go into more detail about some of the stuff that I talked about, I just did a 20-minute video on a lot of this.
Yeah, he does. He goes into detail every month or week on his
trying to do
videos.
more. I think it's about time I do more videos. So
mine is I've been doing, as you guys notice. Oh, I want to bring this up before we close it out. Yes, I have been doing a lot of neighborhood drive-through tours. Okay. I've done at least 30 of them. And it takes a while to edit all these videos. And so some of them are posted a month or two behind. But the information,
so it looks like fall still.
The information on these videos are still relevant.
Absolutely.
Because the point of the video was to highlight the neighborhood, what the houses look like in that neighborhood, and what amenities are in that neighborhood. So don't give me crap on YouTube if it's 2 months behind, is because regardless if I do it now or posted it and you see it 2 months ago and this video was going viral, the information is still relevant.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, but you know how people are. Right. They want the fresh stuff.
Yeah.
They want all
still
the fresh stuff.
I mean, I just,
it's informative.
I'm a one-woman show. I'm a penny pincher. I don't hire anyone to edit my videos. I edit all my videos. So when you have 30 videos to do, I mean, I was like, for the month of October and November, I was out there every day doing these neighborhood tours. I will wrap it up, and this month will be the last of them until the springtime, because now the weather's everything looks yucky.
Yeah. That's another reason why people don't list their homes in these times, because the curb appeal is
ugly. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I have fun. I had fun doing them. I have a lot of ideas for new videos. I am going to maybe do.
I like the luxury one.
Yeah.
The top three.
Oh, the top 3 lowest price and the top 3 highest prices homes that sold in Summerlin. I will post that soon. I just need to record the video and edit it. But I have a lot of ideas for a lot of Summerlin videos. Get back to my roots and do a lot of Summerlin stuff.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching.
Rock on.
And do it peacefully.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
At least we remember that part, huh?
Yeah.